Fixture Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, the world's greatest redneck, and today we're going to start making the hand tapping fixture, and it'll become a little more clear as we go along as to what that might be. But I think you can look on MSC, I think that's the name of the site. They've got some, or you can search for hand tapping fixture on Google or whatever, and they'll show you pictures of a lot of them. So anyway, let's get down to more important stuff here. I got a sticker request from a fella. He's the Knickler's Workshop, okay? And his name is Paul Gattenby. He's over there in the UK. Well, now being a redneck, you know I don't speak English. So I had to ask him, what the heck is a Knickler? Come to find out that's a guy that can do anything. Well, it's not a redneck then, that's for sure. But anyway, he sent me a nice letter and some nice stickers, and we're going to show you where we put him. I don't actually have a British section up there, so I hadn't thought about that, you know, sorting out stuff by nationality, but I'm going to put him up there in a good spot. So I put the sticker, the Knickler's Workshop sticker, right there under Everett's Workshop. Everett's Canadian, and being Canadian is kind of like being British pretty much. So, you know, they're all in the Queen's Dominion or Kingdom or something. I don't know, I don't understand all that stuff, but, you know. Anyway, there we are. We've started a British Empire section. How's that? Alright, so what this is going to do is these two pieces we just cast are going to mount like this, alright? But of course, I can't mount it on a rough end like that. And, you know, what we're going to have is there will be a shaft that comes right down from the top here. And you hold a tap, okay? And you put the item you want to tap the hole in down here, and you crank the shaft and run the tap through it perfectly straight on. Alright? But to get there, I'm going to have to, you know, do a little machining on this and get these ends squared up and things like that. So let me show you another little thing. The usual tap handle looks like this, and that gave me the idea that I will sacrifice this tap handle and attach it to the end of the shaft. I'll have to figure out exactly what method I'm going to use for that, whether I make a sleeve to go in or whether I put the shaft down through here. There's not much metal there to put the shaft through. You can get a set of 3 of these at Harf Wright for under $10. So I'm going to pull the middle out of it, and we're going to see what it takes to attach it to the end of the shaft. That'll be further on down in the video, maybe even a week or two from now, who knows. First I've got to do is get this guy all crewed up, cleaned up, and looking like a decent casting. Alright, so let me get it set up and we'll continue on right here. Okay, the first thing I want to do is just get a flat spot back here to use for aligning it when I put it in the vise. I'm going to try putting it in the vise. And that may be a while down the road, but anyway, I need flat surfaces to use for reference, and that's going to be the first one. Now they gave me a little bit of a setup problem in as much as right there here, that's the stop. And I started out with this thing over here and discovered right off I wasn't going to do any machining that way. It's hanging down past the edge, so I can get over here just before the stop, and it should be all right. Okay, so we'll crank this thing up and see what we've got. Let me see what's the RPM. Looks a little high. It does look a little high. I'll have to slow it down some. I'll bring you guys back when I get her slowed down. Alright, I've got an abnormally lot of stick out on that tool, and I want to make sure it gets all the way back here before I hit that stop. That's the whole total reason. So I'm going to try to crank it in there real slow and easy. that's the right tool to use or not. Probably could do it better than end mill. We'll try it with an end mill. I'm getting a lot of chatter because even with it shimmed like I've got it there, it's not really tight. I'm going to run down it a little ways and see how close I am to touching anything. Okay, so I managed to square off this end here, and I didn't think that short fat end mill would reach all the way across, but it did. And so I've got that all cleaned up, and I'll go around to the other end and square it off with this end, and then we'll be in pretty good shape, I think. Of course, I got to turn it over and clean up the other side as well. Try to make them sort of the same thickness on each side. We'll see what we can do. Alright, we're cleaning up this end here. I'm going to screw up the edges, but I'm also going to clean up that spot in the middle where I cut off the extra metal from the runner. Alright, I'll switch to high speed and we'll go around the edges there to get them all squared away. You can see right there, there's a little notch in it. Probably have to take out about 150 thousandths. Right, so I didn't show trimming up this side because it was just like doing the other side, but you can see it's nice and flat and everything's squared away. And this side also, I got a little bit of porosity in a few places on this side, but that always happens when I cast aluminum. And I didn't lose all of the engineered 3D, just part of it. You remember that this spot here had a great big lump of metal where the sand had fallen out, and I machined that out of there. So this guy is ready now to be set up on the base when the base is ready, and it'll set on the base like that. And yes, this, you can see it all. Well, this darn thing is not moving right. Alright, so it'll set on the base like that, which should be straight and true and square. And once I've assembled it, that's when I'll put the hole in there for the rod that's going to run the tap. That's enough for today. We'll work on it again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll work on the base where it's at. I'll lay it down someplace. And here's my handsome face again for those that feel like I don't spend enough time on camera. Well, I got to be there somewhere. All right, there. All right. Back tomorrow.